Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about training. So Hammer, who is trained to do farm chores with me, right now is a little confused. He's not sure if we're having playtime or what, because normally we would already be feeding the animals. But I told him for video purposes, we were gonna release Samson first. Good boy, Hammer. Samson, sit. Good, sit. Okay, so let's talk about kennels. Why is Samson occasionally in a kennel? Guys, he sleeps inside, but like most puppies, his bladder is full by 5:30 when the alarm goes off. So my husband gets up, puts him in the kenneled, safe area where the German Shepherd actually sleeps at night. And it's not a small kennel. It's a run. It's actually part of the chicken coop. So the German Shepherd is trained to protect the chickens. Now Samson's still in training, so the chickens are never free to roam in there when he is in there, if I'm not with him, okay? Why would I set up a 4-month-old puppy to fail? He's a hunting dog. He eats raw chicken and rabbits from the farm. So what's gonna end up happening is, excuse me, Samson's gonna accidentally run after and kill a chicken. So at night, Hammer is safely kenneled with the chickens, okay? So I got a comment the other day on a 15-second short. No dog should ever be kenneled. That is incorrect. It's an ignorant statement in the fact that that is someone who has been around people who kenneled their dogs their entire life, okay? And that's a shame that people have seen owners treat their animals like that. It's heartbreaking to me because I have put in tremendous time in training and learning and teaching my dogs manners, that to think that somebody out there has just thrown a dog in a kennel, and it happens where I live all the time, and left that dog its entire life behind 4 walls, basically. You've imprisoned them. They're not dogs anymore, they're prisoners. So I understand the sentiment behind the statement, but it's still a very ignorant thing to say because my dogs all have not 1 kennel, but 2. They have inside kennels. Now, what do I mean by that? It means that I have a kennel for them inside, for them to go into when they come in the house. They're trained to go from the back door straight to their kennel. They're not allowed to run and romp through the house. There's a lot of reasons for that. Here at Starkey Farmstead, obviously, I have a tremendous garden. I use organic amendments, which means compost and manure. So there are compost and manure piles located around my farm along with hay. Now, if my dogs come inside from a day of playing out here and all of this, pond, manure, hay, they're filthy, okay? And I hate to say it, but they are also covered in fleas. So I don't necessarily want them running, jumping, and getting on all of my furniture and stuff like that without me giving them the command to go up on something. So they're trained to either a place, like a mat, or they're trained to a kennel. I use the word kennel in multiple ways. There's the kennel in the house and then there's the dog run. But rather than train them to 2 separate commands, kennel means outside or inside. And depending where they are located, they know which kennel to go to. All right, so that's just training. Now, when you have a Dogo puppy, I've talked about this before, they are very nature-oriented, nature-focused dogs, completely different than, say, a German Shepherd or a Doberman or a Malinois. I'm trying to think of some of the other bigger breeds that are really handler-focused dogs. Rottweilers, those dogs want to be with their handlers 24/7. Now, I can tell you that now that Samson is 16 weeks old or 4 months old, that he is becoming very mommy focused. Wouldn't necessarily say that he's handler focused, but he is very mommy focused. So he likes to be with his mommy. And what we're running into right now is I can get him to go in and out of the kennel, in and out of the house, in and out of the outside kennel, somewhat come when called, where my husband's having a greater difficulty because he's not with him all day, every day like I am. So where Samson is beginning to see me as a pack leader, we're seeing the absence of that in my husband. And it is definitely something that we must work on as a family unit, because if you've ever seen any other videos with my husband, there is no doubt that he is alpha on the farm and in the home. The German Shepherd, the Dachshund, they recognize it, they bow down to it. Now, I did Hammer's training. So I trained him from watching Upstate K9. They're located in New York, and Upstate K9 Academy, to be exact. And when I got Hammer at 16 weeks old, 4 months, I realized that I was greatly outsmarted. I hate to admit that, but this dog flat was outsmarting me, okay? He would do what he wanted to. He knew that I was in love with the ears and, you know, the black around his eyes, because I thought it like a little bit like Cleopatra. He was a beautiful puppy. He is a beautiful dog. And I was so stupid in love with him, I couldn't figure out how to train him. I had never actually trained a dog. All right, I'd had dogs that, you know, could sit on command, and that's it. They would come back most of the time because they were just good dogs. You know, they weren't stubborn. They just loved me, and they came when I called them. But Hammer was different. I realized that I had a dog that was going to grow up to be rather large. He's 85 pounds. And that he could be dangerous because he was stupid in love with me. We had this bond from day one. And he would low growl at 16 weeks old at anybody that got too close to his mom. And I realized, wait a second, I may have a problem with this German Shepherd wanting to protect me a little too much. So I started watching Upstate K9 Academy, and this gentleman saved my German Shepherd's life. So instead of a reactive, dangerous dog, what I've got is a well-trained, well-behaved, loving, and friendly German Shepherd. Here at Starkey Farmstead, we do educational tours on our 2-acre farmstead for multiple reasons. But one, because we do something called sustainable loop systems, and we're debt-free. We're totally organic and regenerative. So a lot of people who are wanting to go into homesteading or small farming, or even want to do this type of farming on a larger scale, they come and they tour. We do it in groups and we do it individually. So I cannot have a dog on my property with that type of bite force that I cannot control no matter what the situation is. I must be able to kennel him on command, call him back if I don't want him to approach someone, to get him to calm down and go into a down position. And then I need him to be reactive in situations where the fighting pit bulls from down the road, yes, I know it's illegal, but just hear me out. Nothing I can do about it, guys. Get off their leashes or released because of injuries. When they get on the farm, or people under the influence come on the farm, because where I live, that is also a big deal. I need a dog that's going to actually follow a command to protect me and then come back when called. And Hammer executes that amazingly. So with the Dogo, on the other hand, what I've heard about this breed is where the German Shepherd is aware of danger, is alert, and in the pre-attack mode, I can still control him off leash with commands to get on and to get off up to a certain degree. If they touch me, you're in trouble. There's no way he's going to release you unless I manually can remove him from you, because you've now touched me and you crossed the line. With the Dogo, what I'm hearing from people that own this breed is they're almost as smart as a German Shepherd, but their reaction time is they're always in the pre-attack mode and they move through pre-attack much faster than the German Shepherd. So when they see danger approaching their family, their home, their property, the animals that they are protecting, they are not worried about you giving them the command to pay attention, to be focused, to be ready to release that power to protect you. They're going to take the initiative and jump out there. So training him is more important than ever when it comes to training, okay? Another reason, his bite force. Hammer's bite force, most German Shepherds range between like 260 and 300, okay? Now that's pounds per inch. at the garden? Good boys. Sorry. We're learning. They're trained. The older ones are trained to stay out of the garden. The puppy's still learning. But Samson ranges in at 600 pounds per square inch, guys. That's tremendous. That's double. Where Hammer can break a bone, Samson can literally dismember if given the time and he's angry enough. So I have to train this puppy. For the 30-second, it's what I call 30 seconds to offense, is what I just laugh and laugh when I see people see a video, or not even a video, guys, a short. They see a short of a Dogo puppy in an outside kennel and they lose their mess. They obviously know nothing about training dogs. He does not live in that kennel. He is occasionally in that kennel for his safety and mine while I'm working, because if I can't keep my eyes on him, he's a baby and he gets away from me and gets run over by a car. Whose fault is that? Mine. If I'm working in the garden or need to go inside and take phone calls or set someone up on the schedule for a tour, and I didn't put him back in his kennel during that phone call and I'm on the phone for 10 minutes, I come outside and a large dog has now attacked him and injured him or killed him, whose fault is that? It's mine. What happens if I go inside and take a nap, leave him out of a kennel? I don't want to put him in an inside kennel for that short period of time. What happens if I leave this puppy outside and he digs up a 1/4 acre market garden? Whose fault is that? It's mine. So you can't set your puppy up to fail. I can't allow him free roam on a working farm. Hold on one second. Samson. And he does like to ignore me. We are going to be moving to an e-collar and a leash train here very soon, very similar to what I did to Hammer, because of what you just saw. He heard me, but he does not want to stop playing. And this puppy is 10 times the stubbornness of the German Shepherd. Samson, yeah, he's very nature focused. Hey, come here, come, Samson. Oh, good baby, good calm. So he heard his name and he got away from me before I could give him the command to come. Just because I say his name doesn't mean I want him to come. So he's not always going to come directly when I say their name. But he knew the command to come was fixing to happen, so he ran. My dogs are smart. This dog is super smart. Like, you would think, oh, he's just being a puppy. You know, he's just ignoring you. No. Guys, that puppy knew I was fixing to tell him to C-O-M-E. And he chose to run and jump in the pond, where I had to walk to him, get his eye contact, because he is a baby, before I gave him that command. So if I would have started yelling for him to come across the yard, he wouldn't have. I would have had to discipline that behavior. So I chose not to say anything until I got close enough that he knew I could reach him, and then give him the command. Okay, so that's the issue with puppies. You have them off leash, they're playing, you want to give them commands, bad timing, you're gonna make him fail. What are you gonna do if he chooses not to come? So I know a lot of people that this is a bit on the long wind, but I wanted to show you a little bit of how hard he actually plays, how big he actually is. Hammer, what is it, man? Now, Hammer's very different. Let me spank him. Hammer, come. So even playing, he's coming. Like, he's a good boy. Good come. Go play. I mean, he'll come. Samson's a different breed. different breed altogether. And he's also much younger. I mean, he's just a baby. So I hope that this helps you to show you in person the differences between handler focused and between nature focused. To talk to you a little bit about kenneling. My dogs are never in an inside kennel longer than 8 to 8.5 hours, and that is overnight, okay? Now, I know people that actually use their inside kennels when they go to work. So look, that's great. That dog never goes back in that kennel ever for the remainder of the day, because now they're home. They can give their dog all the attention and exercise that it needs without leaving it free to roam in their home, or they don't have a secure enough outside pen to leave the dog there when they go to work. So for the safety of their animal, they leave it in the kennel during the day, and it's free to sleep with the kids or with them or on the floor at night. So they just changed the timetable. For me, if they're inside, they're in a kennel overnight. As they grow up and they get a little older, I leave the kennel door open. So it's not even a closed kennel, but they're comfortable in their kennels and they don't mind being in them. So please don't think that whatever you have to do to keep your animal safe, allow someone else to tell you that you are wrong. Your dog should never be in a small kennel or an outside kennel more than a few hours without a change of scenery, okay? Just like a child, they're going to get bored. You're gonna cause serious behavior problems with your animal, and it's cruel and inhumane. But you are okay kenneling them overnight or kenneling them while you are at work, okay? And don't let anyone else tell you that. These are your responsibility, all right? These dogs are my responsibility. I'm gonna do whatever I feel right in my heart and whatever I believe is gonna be the safest thing for them. If you've ever met Hammer, and you know I'm doing something right, and hopefully over time we're gonna see the progression of Samson becoming the same temperament as his brother, because I'm raising him identically to how I did the German Shepherd, with just a few changes to the fact that he's not handler focused. Okay, so like I said, I didn't give him the command to come earlier while he was running from me. I had to get close enough to him to actually have him make eye contact with me so he knew I was serious, and then call him to me. Just know your dog breed, know what is stimulating them, and get ahead of it, okay? You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for watching Hammer and Samson, and even Atlas for a minute, even though he's older and he don't want to play with the big dogs. Thank you for watching them have their morning play here at Storky Farmstead with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Soil health, soul health, and animal health are what we're all about here at Storky Farmstead. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share our videos.